topics as well. The top two things we are monitoring today, the showers and the thunder showers. Of course, we had plenty of storms yesterday. We'll be talking more about the storms in the forecast this afternoon. Plus, we are previewing your weekend forecast. Lots of things happening around Central Florida. Want to make sure you're taken care of. Want to make sure you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood. But before we do any of that, let's just take a live look outside, shall we? Let's see what's doing on our Tower Cam network. This is a shot from Cocoa. We're looking out over, of course, the beautiful waters and looking over toward the port, looking over toward Merritt Island, and looking through an awfully dirty lens. Need to call the engineers and tell them they gotta, do that little thing. I mean, that's what happens when you have beach cameras, right? It is a lovely start to the day, though. Lots of sunshine. There are some showers, though, that are out and about. We're sitting at 80 degrees in Orlando, sitting at 78 degrees in the Claremont area. Kissimmee, you're waking up to 78 degrees. It's 75 degrees in Palm Coast. And let's take a live look at our first morning live Doppler radar. There are a few showers that are actually tracking this morning. So let's zoom in. Let's start with a look at our metro area. And you can see while downtown Orlando is still looking good, let me zoom in here toward the Claremont and Apopka area. Yeah, watching a few showers out that way as the live radar sweeps through. Let me loop this for you. And you can kind of see it's all working over toward I-4, Altamont Springs, Maitland, Winter Park area. The live radar sweep kind of showing that we've got some heavier stuff out there near Montverde. But when we look to our velocity channel, thankfully, we're not really watching much in the way of winds, 25 miles an hour tops, so not a big deal there. All right, back out to the wider perspective. Let's check and see what's doing out over Marion County, North Marion County. Watching a few showers continuing through Putnam counties. That'll eventually work over toward Flagler. There's a lapse on that. And you can very clearly see nothing too strong, certainly nothing severe. Let's head over here toward Dunellen, watching a few light showers there. And then even down toward Bushnell, that stream of shower activity is kind of continuing, working in your general area. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but there is some rains to track. So keep that in mind. In terms of the forecast, where do we go from here? Well, we've got a chance of rain this morning. It's not a high chance, but it's a chance nonetheless. Notice through the day we're adding and adding and adding to that 30%, 50%, 60% coverage of showers and storms. So there is plenty of moisture around. There's going to be an active afternoon, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of an earlier start. And of course, an early start means an early finish, means maybe your late evening plans don't look too bad. Alan says it's an oven outside. I don't disagree. It is very warm. Friday, Janice, good morning to you. Brian, good morning, buddy. Nancy, love the haircut pictures. Great stuff. Yeah, little guy, I'll show you guys and gals real fast, and then we can continue in the weather forecast world. Stand by. So Alexander yesterday got his first haircut. First off, let's just talk about Eric. Eric is a seasoned pro at this point. There's Eric's haircut. Look at him, as handsome as can be. Look at that young man. Look at that young man. Then Alexander's turn. I think that if a picture were worth 1,000 words, but look at all that hair, right? Like, so much hair. So unhappy. By the end, he was looking great. And he was calmed down. Here he is at the end. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. My little guy. Just had to get through the haircut. That's okay. Anyway, yeah, those are the haircut pictures. All right, where are we going this afternoon temperature-wise? 92 degrees in Orlando, 90 degrees in the Villages. Of course, we're cycling these through on the bottom of your screen just so that you're updated. Here's a look at Futurecast, and 8 o'clock this morning, obviously the showers are out in our western areas, but they're going to be moving east through the day. So let's bring it back full screen here, and let's just take you through time on Futurecast. All right, there's 9, 10 o'clock, the rain's out west. Continuing 11, 12 o'clock, kind of bubbling up in through the metro area. 1, 2 o'clock, starting to see some heavier activity back over toward the Space Coast. Most of the activity, though, wants to favor our western and southern areas through the day. There's 4 o'clock kind of starting to clear out a little bit. Maybe a little bit of rain to the north late, but your late evening plans are looking good. What about your weekend? Well, we're kind of in this westerly component to the winds, so that means that when I see it tomorrow morning on West 2 News Sunrise, we're going to be showing these showers out west. But through the day, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we'll be watching the rains kind of working in. And then I think 10, 11, 12 o'clock, that's when that big West Coast sea breeze push happens. And of course, I'll be tracking that for you throughout the day tomorrow. Into the afternoon, when do the rains arrive? Look at that, 1:30, 2 o'clock, widely scattered showers and storms through the metro. And then by about dinner time, we're starting to taper this off. Now, I think that the model's overdoing the moisture content just a little bit, but I don't think that it's going crazy in terms of the overall idea of a pretty wet pattern. So today, definitely a higher storm coverage than yesterday, and we're going to kind of continue that. If we look at the trend here over the next few days' time, our rain chances are definitely healthy for the next few days. 60% coverage of showers and thunder showers, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, good stuff. Joanne, good morning to you. Shelly, good morning. Granny Karen, it's a beautiful morning. I've never seen this one before. That's a good way of looking at it. I like that. I like that. Summertime afternoon rain, Janice. Yeah, with a bit of an earlier component start time today. Ooh, Brian says T-bones on the griddle. That sounds great. I'm ordering pizza. Taylor says I'm afraid to go outside today. Well, don't do that. Find an excuse, a reason to go outside and enjoy this beautiful day. I'm going to be picking weeds. Anybody want to help me pick weeds at the house? If you're doing something a little more fun, like heading to SeaWorld. Park opens in just under an hour. We do watch those showers and those thunder showers increase in coverage. If you're wanting to head out to the water park, of course, Volcano Bay. Long live Wet and Wild. I know it's not here anymore, but every time I see a water park, I just think of all the fun I had there. Nancy says that boy's a lady killer already. Ay vey. Melissa says little Eric isn't so little. Yeah, it's true. He looks like a big boy now, right? Ay, ay, ay. Cuties love him. Debbie, right? Thank you, Pat. Handsome boys. Appreciate it. Rose on YouTube says good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, Rose. Yukon says it's summer. I thought kids skipped haircuts. Is that a thing, or was that a thing? I've never heard of that. Yukon says, so funny little story. Bruce and I passed each other in a park yesterday and didn't even know it until late in the day. That's funny. I first ran into Bruce at Aldi. And I don't know how Bruce looks today, but back then, it may have been closing in on the winter season, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And so Bruce was absolutely Bruce. There was no questioning. Let's see here. Dottie says, good morning from Palatka. Hey, good morning. You may have a couple of showers heading your direction pretty quickly. Dottie says, no weeds. I know. Listen, my yard is in rough shape. I mowed it yesterday, but didn't get a chance to get the weeds. So that's on the deal today. Taylor says, I'll send my kids to pick your weeds. Oh, hey, I've pizza. I can order pizza. Anything so that I don't have to pick the weeds. Why is the yard in rough shape? Because I hate picking weeds. But you got to do it every now and then, I know. Debbie says, yeah, no haircut in the summer. I've never heard of that. I feel like the summer's when you really want to get a haircut because it's so hot outside. I've never heard of that before. That's interesting. Well, it's not summer yet, so technically I can still make that. Technically. 11 days until the summer solstice, of course. We know that Florida's summer starts early. When we look at the month, we're in the month of June. When we look at the month of June, if I spelled June correctly, there we go. If we look at the month of June on the old almanac, the average high temperature is about its highest point of the year. Hurricane season, of course, begins. It is, by the way, the wettest average month of the year. Did you know that? I knew it was in this vicinity. I didn't know that it was June offhand, but my memory's pretty terrible. But yeah. Ah, boy. I've already had one named tropical system. Probably should start talking tropics here. Where, though, before we get too deep, where do tropical systems come from during the month of June? Tropical systems love to come from the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. So this is the June tropical development zone out here in the kind of Caribbean and the Gulf. So that then brings the question, what's doing out in the tropics? Let's take a wider perspective. The good news for now, there is nothing going on out in the tropics. There is, though, on the bottom right part of your screen, there is a nice rigorous tropical wave rolling off the coast of Africa. That will not be a factor because we're not quite yet to the Cabo Verde season yet. Okay, so not there. But let's take a look and see what's doing on the raw models. All right, so here we are. I'll bring it full for you. This is the GFS top left corner. Read it. GFS 0.25 degrees. So this is the highest resolution GFS available. Initialized 6Z today. MSLP means sea level pressure. Normalized anomaly, meaning that we're looking for higher pressure and lower pressure. And instead of just showing isobars, it kind of colors it in. It helps. Think of it like adding contrast to a medical test, okay? All right, so let's roll through time together. Watching around Central America here through this weekend for a little CAG. Now, let me back this up. Right here, Wednesday of next week, 5 a.m., the model is trying to hint at something rolling off the coast of the Carolinas. You see that there? And then kind of moving back in toward like Tybee Island. I don't know that I buy that. It's something interesting. But we'll keep going, watching the GFS. GFS loves doing goofy stuff in this most recent update. All right, there is, we'll just stop it. This is 12Z on Sunday, as in not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Obviously, it's got a little area of low pressure in the northern Gulf, and it's got another storm system around Cuba. Excuse me? All right, interesting. Keep going. And then it brings something over toward Louisiana around the 21st. All right, interesting. That is our 258. Let's switch over and let's take a look at the European model. Now, the European doesn't show that little Carolina thing. And it doesn't show anything coming out of the Caribbean. That's as far out as it goes, all right? So, you've got the GFS saying one thing and the European saying something completely different. Computer models are guidance, not gospel, right? We've talked about that. Also, when they don't agree with each other, that lets you know that's confidence should be going down. Let's just look at the European. I just want to look at the ensembles and see if they're sniffing anything out. All right, so these are the European ensembles. Some of them, you know, there's a couple of members trying to sniff something out in the Gulf of Mexico, but not much. Yeah, so there may be something interesting there, but at the current time, there's nothing that I'm worried about. There's nothing that you should be worried about. We're in hurricane season. This is going to be the case all the time. We're going to always have something that we're watching. But I do want to remind you, as we discuss this, if we look at the monthly calendar for the month of June, there is a feature that I want to point out. Okay, you can kind of see around the 24th, 25th, 26th, the models are just starting to get into range for this. That is a window that my long-range forecast is showing as an opportunity for Florida. So we're not there yet. The models are, it's way out for the models, but there's definitely something there on the LRC. The BSR has indicated it. We were showing that yesterday. So just something to remember. And by the way, I had somebody ask me about this the other day. Actually, it was this morning, the other day. Drink my coffee. You can read my full published 2022 hurricane season forecast by heading to wesh.com/hurricane forecast. wesh.com/hurricane forecast. You can get that full forecast there, which, as we get more and more into the peak of season, that's going to be more and more in play. It's going to be more and more stuff that we're going to need to track. But, we're still in the quiet part of hurricane season, and we had chatted a little bit. If I can find this graphic. We had chatted a little bit about my participation yesterday in staff meetings at the office. This was one of the graphics that Manalfi showed, and I haven't pulled it out on Coffee Talk, but I think that it's a really good resource. A reminder that we don't really get active until like mid to late July, and truthfully, August, September, October, that is peak season. Like peak season is September 10th. So here we are. It is the 10th of June. There's not really anything that we're tracking, but that's pretty normal. Once we get into late June, that's when things start to pick up. Okay, these are the kind of tropical activity metrics that we look for. Okay, so something interesting there. Yukon says GFS Goofy's favorite system. Yeah, I'll buy that. I was hoping for a June 24th hurricane, Taylor says. I mean, you might get it. Look, June 24th. The only problem with that June 24th time frame is if there is a hurricane, that's going to be something that's going to be impacting more than likely the Florida coastline. So be careful what you wish for. The models are still a little far out, but it's, the models will start sniffing that time frame out at some point pretty soon. So there's that. Be careful what you wish for. Taylor says drink. I like the European one today, Rose says. Because as nothing, I'm good with that too. I'm definitely good with that too. I'll keep nothing and be okay with that. When does vacation end? I mean, I'm back. I did my staff meeting yesterday, today picking weeds, and then tomorrow I'm back in the office. Yeah. Doing sunrise. If he's retiring, how is Gary Lezak going to update the data for the LRC? So Gary actually has a company. We'll need to talk with him. But he's got a company called Weather 2020. So he's going to be doing it kind of on the side. Not on the side, but he's going to be doing it offline, basically. And we'll have him on. I'm sure he'll still want to do coffee talk and all that fun stuff. Rose says, I'll take a pass on hurricanes. Oh, yeah. Tony, can you tell me why it rains all around me but not in Summerfield? There could be local impacts and things like that, but at the end of the day, it's not like there's a bubble around you. There may be some climatological things, but like right now, at least there are some showers, not probably impacting you, but there you go. There are some showers around. All right. So rain chances are going to be nice and healthy for us the next couple of days. 60% coverage today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Going down just a little bit, getting hot just a little bit for your Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday. Once again, those rain chances are on their way back up. Yep. The late August one has me concerned because there's almost always a big hurricane threatening the United States in and around Labor Day. Yeah, Aaron, I mean, climatologically, that's absolutely the time frame that we watch. And if you look at that late August time frame, what is the threat? It would be more the mid-Atlantic version, if I'm honest. When we look at late August, it's more of a mid-Atlantic version. I mean, I put that watching Florida in there because it's peak hurricane season, and it is they recycle. But this version that's coming late June is the more rigorous October 11th version, the October 24th, the August 24th, 25th time frame, that October 9th repeat, that's a little more focused into August. So, I think that for, it may be both. We'll have to watch, but that will be a very active week. There are two storm systems in that week. So I do think that that week is going to be active for us. And of course, its previous version, which is this month, I think that the end of this month will probably have some activity as well. Yep. Brian says, yep, September peak when I'll be away from home on a month-long racing tour. Not a bad month to be gone, right? Let's see here. That was a short vacation. Listen, it was just, yeah. Rose, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Rejoice is getting blocked with block. I'm a proponent of frequent and at least week-long vacations. Everyone should get between 4 to 6 weeks away from work for a year. Isn't that nice? Debbie says, could you please show the July long range? Sure. So there you go. So July 4th weekend, right? Getting into early in the week, we're good. But I do think that there will be something kind of looping up the East Coast. Now, could it be impacting the Northeast? There is a signal for that. That'll be back in September. I think that the September version would probably be more favorable. But that signal is there around the 6th and 7th of July. But then again, around the 20th and 21st of July, that is the November 6th repeat. That is the Floor Easter. So that is definitely going to be something we're going to have to watch. Yep. Not all of these are going to come to fruition. Not all of these are guaranteed threats or anything. But these are when the patterns kind of favor these certain channels of air. All right. I just hope there are no storms between July 21st to the 23rd. I'm going to Orlando for my conference. We'll see. We'll see. All right, people. Any questions, comments, concerns? Here's your 7-day forecast. Looking good? Thanks for the updates, of course, Marie. All right, so that's what we've got. Showers and thunder showers aplenty this afternoon. Don't worry, though. We'll be keeping you up to date, all right? All right, listen. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you guys and gals so much for hanging out. I'll talk to y'all later.